Disclaimer: the following video can contain spoilers. Testing out a theory to disrupt a tornado, Kate, Daisy Edgar-Jones, misjudged the situation, leading to the death of her friends. Years later, Javi, Anthony Ramos, convinces her to return to Oklahoma, where she can use her gift along with new technology to accomplish their goals of the past. Before I begin, I want to say that I saw this movie in 4DX, and boy was that an experience. It was fun and engaging, which helped me be more invested in the story, as I felt every impact and motion of both story and tornado. I do want to say that for this review, I won't let that affect my judgment of this movie. The good news is that, 4DX aside, I really loved this movie. It had character, it had stakes, and most importantly, it had story. Let's go through this movie and discuss why I liked it. The movie opens up with Kate looking up at the sky. Using her gift, she determines a tornado is about to form. She wakes up her team and prepares for their project. A group of friends discuss their plans for the camera and by proxy, us. We follow them through this short journey until problems arrive, causing not only death, but trauma to our protagonist that would come back later and be a part of her character and her growth. This opening provided the necessary ingredients for a well-told opening. It establishes our characters, tone, and direction of the movie. Not to mention grabbing our attention with tornadoes and their destruction within this movie, while also providing little nuggets which will potentially propel the protagonist to return back and try again. And well, substance.
Get us the numbers. Whatever we need to win a big fat grand.
I'm all about my cash money, right?
Afraid and tormented, Kate moves to New York, working in a company that monitors the weather/climate around the US, alerting the locals if anything comes up, essentially related to her interests. But the most important takeaway is that we see that she still has these skills 5 years later. Javi pays her a visit and talks to her about his new findings from the military and how it can help achieve what they couldn't years prior. Since Oklahoma is currently facing a tornado outbreak, they can gather more data in order to finish what they started, which also allows Kate to see the destruction these tornadoes are causing civilians, which motivates her to return back to Oklahoma, despite her fears. I'll pause here for a second to discuss one thing. Structure. So far, this movie has an adequate and strong base because it follows the structure very well. From the opening to the start of Act 2A, we have all we need to follow Kate and the journey, or her journey, while altogether, the audience, or at least in my case, me, root for her. We know what she's after, we know what's her motive, and we know how she's going to go after this goal. The best part is, the movie remains true to structure throughout the story, not just the beginning. So let's continue. Meeting the B-story, Tyler Owens, Glenn Powell, and his posse, their physical appearance and mentality differs from Kate and Storm Parr. A good contrast that plays well within the story. More of that soon. We continue the movie with Kate's trauma coming back to her, causing her to fail at her first attempt while watching Tyler and his crew rush into a tornado just to test out the theory if you can shoot fireworks up a tornado, a fan asked. So far, I'm liking the movie. Not only do I like it because I'm enjoying the story, but because I see the structure as I stated before. And it's pretty good. Pair that up with nice soundtrack, acting, and the chemistry between each other, and, obviously, tornado action. I'm invested in the journey and story.
Tornadoes, bulls, same thing. Fear's the reason you do it. You don't face your fears, you ride them.
We're gonna surround it with 3 radars, each one pointed at the tornado. Wizard, hang back. Get those hard drives fired up.
Tin Man is active! Hey, Tin Man, hard data is coming in. Javi, Scarecrow is active. Scarecrow is up. Okay, Scarecrow, we got you. Waiting on you, Lion.
And how about Lion?
We gotta complete the triangle.
Long story short, the movie continues like this. Kate continues to talk to Tyler, which makes her realize who Marshall Riggs, David Bourne, truly is, and how her motives don't differ much from Tyler's. They both want to help people by doing what they love, storm chasing. However, while one at first did it for money, the other does it out of the kindness of his heart. which eventually Kate learns from Tyler and chooses to do good regardless of what can result from it. Later, she faces her fears by riding into the belly of the beast, disrupting a tornado and saving the people of Reno. As the credits roll out, I sat mesmerized, rethinking of the story and those tornadoes. So much that I saw it again. What I loved about the movie is how despite all the tornado action we see, the movie has a lot of well-written character-driven scenes that don't take away the promise of the premise. We understand what Kate wants to do early in the movie, and with the trauma and the dangers of tornadoes, we see Kate overcome these hurdles as she learns to grow and ride her fears. It's a very thrilling ride, and we see our heroes get into the messes and chaos in order to achieve what they call collapsing our tornado, while altogether doing it to help people. As for the contrast between the two groups, it added a lot of memorable scenes that demonstrate two different characteristics and how, although seemingly different, they are one of the same. It also adds some comedic value and connectivity within these characters.
Yep.
Strattenham, Berkshire, what the hell? Ben?
As far as the movie being scientifically accurate, I cannot say for certain whether or not it was, though I could at least bend my suspension of disbelief, as it doesn't seem too far-fetched. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's a separate story. Before I end my review, I will ask one thing that has been in the back of my mind. Do you think this movie would have changed in either its tone or would have been better/worse if there were more deaths involved? Especially with established characters. For example, in this scene, Javi and Scott, David Corenswet, are pinned down by strong winds, and I could have sworn that the tornado with the fire would engulf them. Not to mention, when Kate leaves Storm Parr, we don't see Storm Parr afterwards. The only two characters we do focus on in Storm Parr is Javi and Scott. I would have thought that there would be a scene involving Storm Parr overcalculating something because Kate isn't helping them anymore, resulting in either property damage or death.
Told you we didn't need her.
All right, let's not get distracted.
I can't see it right now. I lost it.
It's tracking straight ahead. I'd say push it, get ahead of it, get ahead of it. Wait, I can see the road, you can see the road?
Man, this feels different. I'm telling you, I think we should stop.
Keep going, we'll get ahead of it.
Scott, we have to stop.
Keep going, get ahead of it.
Which isn't really much of a problem considering the story still functions very well. But again, that mainly comes out of curiosity on my part and is not necessarily important within the story or something I dislike the movie for not doing. Overall, Twisters was a good movie told in a character-driven story. Not only does it stay true to the structure, but we, the audience, come to care for these characters and root for them in their journey. I enjoyed the action and the chaos these tornadoes put our characters into and how they navigate through these paths from storm chasing. But anyways, those are just my thoughts. Did you enjoy the movie? Let me know what you thought about it down below, and I'll see you in the next review. Until then, God bless.